You know, we were discussing it over the past week, and we realized that we were just fucking off too much when it came to the Raw reviews. So it's time to get rid of the bullshit. It's time to take this shit seriously. It's time for us to button down and do things professionally. 100% serious OTRS Central Raw reviews from here on going forward, starting this week. Come on.
Yes, 100% serious.
So Raw this week kicked off with, I don't know what you would say it kicked off with. It started off with John Cena.
It sure did.
Now, what did you think about this opening segment?
I thought it was seriously funny on behalf of John Cena. I thought he had a good segment on the mic, and then Ryback came out.
I disagree with you. I do not like that John Cena sat there and ripped off Daniel Bryan, ripped off another person, ripped off Ryback. I thought this was typical John Cena bullshit where they're trying to force him down our throats and up our asses.
But I do think that they made Ryback a very serious heel in this segment because of the way he was talking and the way people were cheering John Cena.
I will say that this match, or this segment, excuse me, this segment did establish a main event for later on in the show with Ryback versus Kane, and did somewhat effectively build towards their match at Extreme Rules. So that is a good segment, yes?
It was a good segment because I enjoyed John Cena and the way he made me laugh.
So after this, we had our first match of the night, and that was Randall Keith Orton versus Damien Sandow.
Yes, it was.
It is our personal Randy Orton correspondent, Mark. How are you, Mark?
I am well. How about you?
I thought this match was splendid. Absolutely splendid.
I thought the beginning was absolutely splendid as well.
Yes, Damien Sandow is apparently a great country singer along with being a philosophizer and a poet.
He is.
But we knew who would win this match.
Right. And that was Randall Keith Orton.
How many stars would you give this match?
4.
I will give it 3.75. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up, we had some type of really stupid, silly segment where apparently Chris Jericho and his buddy Sweet Tea and Brodus Clay were going to be judging dance moves or something. You know, I don't get what the hell this was supposed to accomplish. You ended up with Fandango versus R-Truth, really?
Yes, I don't understand why this match had to happen.
I don't think anybody established why this needed to happen. And, of course, the babyface just had to go over in this match, didn't he?
Of course he did.
Made Fandango look weak. You know, Fandango, he beat the Jericho at the WrestleMania.
That's true, but this match, while lackluster and the wrong guy won, I still give it a 4 out of 5.
You know, I will give it a 3.5. I think there was some solid build-up here towards the pay-per-view, so I will give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I agree. You are dismissed. Thank you. Your 1-hour main event match this week featured a match we have never, ever seen before. Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio.
We have seen this match before, but this was a high-quality match.
Was it really? I do not agree. I failed to keep interest pretty much throughout.
It was a high-quality match due to the fact that it built up for the pay-per-view because it included swagger.
Did you like that?
Yes.
Do you like Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger? Are they effective heels in your opinion?
Yes, they are.
Do you think this makes Dolph Ziggler weak? That every week pretty much he's left laying and it looks like he's going to lose. He looks vulnerable. Do you think that's the wisest way of booking somebody?
Probably not, but maybe going into the pay-per-view because it kind of gives the idea that he might be beat for the title.
Now be serious here, damn it. Be serious here.
Okay.
Do you think it's a good idea for your new World Heavyweight Champion to always look weak?
No.
Your grade for this match.
2.
Okay. 2. 2. Okay, we have somebody that's a hard grader. Personally, I will give it 4 2/4 stars. That's right. Next up, we had the Shield versus Kofi, Kingston, and the Usos.
Boy, I'm sure glad I get to help review this match.
This was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Anytime I get to see the Shield and their entrance, let alone a match concerning any of them, is a win to me.
What would your grade be for this match where the Shield won? Now, we were trying to come up with creative names for Dean Ambrose's finisher, but I don't think a creative name is called for here. I just think it should be a Bulldog DDT.
Sure, I agree with that statement.
How many stars would you rate this match?
Because of the fact that they had to include the Usos, whom I personally don't like, but I can understand how people would like them, I would give this at least a 4 3/4 stars review.
Thank you. Apparently, for whatever reason, the WWE has decided that they would like to give Antonio Cesaro another gimmick entirely.
And what would that have been?
Well, I don't know. You watched the show with me. Why don't you tell the people?
Well, evidently he's wearing
Stuff that a Swiss
stuff
guy...
that a Swiss guy would wear,
Yes.
I guess.
He wants to be taken seriously. We want him to be taken seriously. We have Cesaro versus Zack Ryder. Our dream match. 2 internet darlings.
Yes.
This was a spectacular match.
Yes, and Cesaro breaks his losing streak.
We like to refer to that as a non-winning streak, but he is back to his winning ways,
Yes.
and he will dominate, then he will lose, and then he will win Money in the Bank. We understand this. Your grade for this match, sir?
Since he broke his non-winning streak, I give it a 4 3/4 star.
Thank you. Now, after this, we got the what basically was the 2-hour main event, which was Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman taking a trip to the Titan Towers to see Triple H's office. This was very interesting, wasn't it?
It was. I didn't know that Triple H had an office where Paul Levesque had his office.
I did not realize that that office was so small.
I didn't realize he could only hang pictures on one wall.
I didn't realize that it was that easy to get into Titan Towers and just walk around the building.
I don't understand why his secretaries had a bigger office than he did.
Now, what I don't understand here is why we continue to fight the grain with Triple H. He should be a heel. The people want to cheer Brock Lesnar. It is clear.
Especially with Paul Heyman there.
We've seen this match at 2 whole pay-per-views, SummerSlam and WrestleMania. My God, do we need to see this for a 3rd time?
Yes.
We do.
I think we need this at every pay-per-view.
So even if you see it all the time, if the match quality is good, is that what matters most?
Exactly. As long as it's a 5-star match each time, then give it to me every week.
Are you a Paul Heyman guy?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. We had 6 Diva tag action. We move on. Mark Henry issued a challenge to Sheamus for some type of shenanigans type match at Extreme Rules. This was interesting.
Yes. Sheamus went in and fought Wade Barrett first.
Yes. Now, does it bother you that Mark Henry was ringside, but yet Sheamus was still allowed to beat Wade Barrett, and then Mark Henry came in?
No, it doesn't bother me. Because Sheamus took out Mark Henry first. And then Mark Henry came in and then beat him with a belt afterwards.
You are so positive about all things WWE. How do you do it?
Well, he beat him with a belt. So that was all right.
Now, I would ask you your grade, but I'm going to grade for you. This was a big man's match, and I don't like big man matches, so I'm going to give it the standard 1 3/4 stars for a big man match.
I'll give it 2 7/8.
Oh, I'm grading it very high, I see. And then, of course, we got to the main event match of the evening, which was Ryback versus Kane. Boy, this was a real slobber knocker of a main event.
It sure was the Schleg Daddy.
Well, tasteless Tony T, why don't you talk about this match and describe some of the action?
Boy, when they first announced it, I couldn't wait for this match because it was something new. I hadn't seen Kane fight Ryback yet, so to me this was instantly a 4-star match. And then it happened, instantly making it a 4 3/4 star match because of the involvement of the Shield that I like and John Cena at the end with Daniel Bryan.
Who we do not like. Well, Daniel Bryan, we do like very much. Yes, it was a standard, again, big man match. So I give it the 1 3/4 stars rating. I'm sorry. Now, once I saw the Shield, who I like, I'd move this segment up to 3 3/4 stars.
Not only did we get to see the Shield multiple times tonight, we got to see John Cena open and close the show. We got to see Ryback in multiple different facets, on the mic, in the ring, and being the monster that he is now. Ryback rules.
Ryback rules. So now it is time for final thoughts on this week's Raw. Well, since you're still here on camera, we will start with you.
Boy, how appropriate that I'm wearing the Brett Favre jersey. For my review, I give it 4 stars.
Thank you, Triple T. Mark.
My final rating for this show is 3 3/4 stars.
Do you feel that this effectively built up towards the Extreme Rules pay-per-view?
A little bit, actually.
Do you really?
Nah, not really.
Yes, you do. Off you go.
All right.
Mike.
Well, this Raw was really boring and didn't really keep my interest, but there was 1 or 2 matches I liked and a couple guys I liked, so I give it a 5.
A 5 out of 5?
Yeah, because, I mean, even...
None of the matches were above like 3.5 or 4 stars.
No,
though, right?
no.
But this was one of the best Raws of the year because you got to see the Shield.
Yeah, and Dolph
Daniel
Ziggler
Bryan.
put on a great match.
Absolutely.
I mean, the only thing that could have improved is return of Punk and Christian.
No, absolutely. I agree. Dwayne, your final thoughts.
I thought it was a decent Raw. I'll accept it. I give it 3 1/3 stars.
They just don't teach that type of math everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
You may go off camera now. The Schleg Daddy thinks this. Fuck John Cena. Tired of him burying the young talent. Randy Orton going over Damien Sandow, again burying the young talent. Sheamus going over Wade Barrett. This was a dumb big man match, and of course, Super Sheamus had to win, even though Mark Henry was there. Ryback and Kane was a boring, slow, big man match. Where are the flips? Where are the high spots? These are the things we need in professional wrestling. I don't need selling. I don't need storytelling. I need gymnastics. This was a mediocre Raw with lackluster build-up towards the pay-per-view Extreme Rules, so I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. You know, actually, didn't have much to complain about with this week's show other than the guys like the Cena and Ortons and Sheamuses and Triple H's. You know, all the baby faces burying all the heels. You know, Triple H no-selling that office being torn up. You know, that was typical God stuff, you know. But
I really hope that people enjoy our serious review this week.
yeah, absolutely.
I admit we were going over the top a little bit, so I think toning it down this week was the right call.
I do too. I completely agree with you on that one.
Hey, wait a minute. We're still rolling here.
Oh, hell. You know, and we strove this week to be more serious, and I make a little amateur mistake like that. Well, we're going to get it right next week, and I hope everybody out there takes us seriously.
Because, God damn it, we're professionals here.